I feel that this is an opportunity to share and talk about things that we like both when we teach and when we practice. And I really like the confrontational or different points of view that we have on different things. So I hope this conversation will be picking some brains.
Yeah, I think people like to call us yin and yang.
Yeah.
But I feel like we are more alike than people think. Maybe because I am more outgoing in general when we meet people, but we are both introverts. And I think we kind of see each other.
In that sense, when we talk about introversion and extroversion, my family is half Italian and half Spanish. I was born in Argentina. And there I was an introvert. And I came here to Norway and bam, I became an extrovert just being here in Norway.
You think so?
Yeah, because of the culture, I don't know. It's kind of a contrast.
Yeah.
I believe. But I understand this sense of having to break the shell and going out. I believe that for people that go into this, you could say, spiritual path is a thing. Sometimes when you want to share what is close to your heart, you need to break the shell and be out. But that doesn't want that you're comfortable with some attention that you get around. Some people think that you do this because you want people to like you. But it's part of being a teacher. I love teaching. I think that requires for me to be in front of the camera or in front of the mat. But that doesn't mean that I feel comfortable doing that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I think some people maybe have the wrong impression of that word because we use it all the time. And then you think that introverts is people that are quiet. They are in the background or, because of the word introvert. And then they think extrovert is out there, loud and outgoing. But you have people that are introverts. They're also out there. And like me, I feel like I have to be out there. And when I teach or if I have my shows, and you have to be out there and really give yourself to whatever you're diving into. But the word extrovert and introvert, isn't it really like if you're an introvert, you get tired of being around too many people, and the opposite is you get energy when you're around a lot of people. So it's not really so much about your maybe the personality you show out. And I think that is confusing for people. Yeah. So then they think, is you an introvert? And I'm like, I don't use that word so much anymore.
Yeah, I think that the last couple of years, especially 2020, had taught us that we need to go with the flow and not really plan much.
Yeah. I love that.
I believe in what I call the surfer's mind.
Yeah.
Did you practice surf?
Yeah.
And because for me, I don't have a great sense of balance, and that it's like I struggle with my balance. But when I started going into the water with the board and trying first to kneel on the board, I started to realize that some waves you can follow and some waves you need to let go because it's kind of crazy. You're going to hurt yourself badly. And I believe in the surfer's mind as having to flow with certain things in life in general and use them as an advantage, even if this waves look frightening and very tall. Is also endearing just to climb on the wall and whoosh, go towards the shore.
Yeah.
So there is no way of resisting big waves, right? You need to flow with those waves and try to move forward with that.
And especially when it comes to surfing, you just need to go in the water.
Yeah.
And maybe first step is just to lay on the board. I was living a little bit in Brazil, back and forth over a period of 5 years, and it was a really, really beautiful place for surfing or beginners.
Which part of Brazil?
North of Brazil. And my friend took me to this little village called Pipa.
No. Oh my God.
What do you mean?
Yeah, because my first boyfriend was from Natal.
Yeah,
so
it's like 1 hour from Natal.
Yeah. So Pipa for me is, it was like the place I wanted.
That was my, I don't know what to call it, my second home for 5 years.
Wow.
So I've been there a lot. I know a lot of people there, and it's just a beautiful place.
Do you know that this part of Brazil is on a big, giant rose quartz mine?
No, but it just makes sense when you say it, because the time I was there, I was there after my last breakup, where I was so heartbroken. My soul was dead. So that place kind of became my refugee. And I have so many beautiful stories from that place, because that place is just vibrating love and freedom and everything.
It's an amazing place.
Yeah. And I had this moment because you have 3 really famous beaches.
Yeah.
And you have like Praia de Amores, the Love Beach. I wasn't there. That's not the place I was much, but you have this Monkey Beach.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like in the middle, and a lot of surfers go there. But one day I was there, and I was on my board, and it wasn't it wasn't a lot of waves, because I don't need a lot of waves. I just need to get in the water. You had beautiful sun, and when you are the beaches in Pipa, you have this. Have you been there?
Yes.
Yeah. They have these big mountains.
Yes.
You have the beach, and on the background is like a backdrop of just a massive mountain.
Yes, and a lot of green and sound of
I can't
birds
really
and
describe
monkeys.
So one day I was out on my board, and my heart was broken, and I was sitting there and just enjoying the view. It's instead of looking out on the horizon, I was looking back down to the beach and this mountain and the green nature, everything.
Yeah, the morros.
Yes. And suddenly to dolphins.
Yes.
It's not dolphins. I'm sorry. It's called...
it's like, it's a kind of dolphin.
Yeah. But it's called Dolphin Beach. So 2 dolphins was jumping like 1 meter away from me, and I was looking at them, and I was looking at the view, the beach, and this backdrop of just massive nature and this rock, and I was thinking, oh my God, this is paradise. This is heaven.
It is.
This is nirvana. This is. And you can think something, look at something and feel it. But at that moment, I feel like I had the same realization as I have in a meditation when you get realizations.
Of course.
You sit
Why
there.
not?
Yeah. And you just download this immense feeling of we are in paradise and we just don't know it.
I relate that to this idea of Buddhism, that you are already enlightened.
Yeah.
You are already Buddha. You just need to realize that.
Yeah.
I like that idea, and this is what I think it made me, for most people, this kind of rebel going through this path, because people tend to think that, okay, you're going to get there after a lot of hard work, and you might not get it in this life, and there is something that is very far away. And especially in the Western world, you have this idea of God being in the altars, right? And in the Eastern world, you have this idea of God being within you, that you are the divinity. So you are in front of the mountains, and you realize that this place is beautiful because you're also in it. You're also part of that. I feel that this is a very powerful feeling. It requires you to let go of the plans. My grandmother had a saying. My grandmother she was Spanish, and she fled Spain during the Civil War, and she said, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. And I believe that 2020 was, if God exists in the way we think God exists, he will be laughing a lot, right?
Yeah, he will. No, but if we just take the time to appreciate what we have. But I feel like it's just also open your view, expand your mind.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about expansion because everything is there.
Yeah, that reminds me a lot we had been talking about this in the teacher trainings that we're running here at the Shale in Norway. We spoke about Geranda, this yoga master. He was teaching yoga to the kings, and he was a tantric teacher. So he believed that enlightenment was to be in nature, not need anything, and not feeling alone. Just a realization that you are part of something bigger.
Yeah.
And when you tell me this anecdote of what you saw in Pipa when you were in the board looking at the moros and all that, I feel that, the sense of, okay, nothing's needed. We have everything that we need.
But I think it's a difference between realization and observation. And you have people, they can look at the nature and they can say, oh, this is so beautiful, and appreciate things, and that's an observation.
Yeah.
And we are good at observe, and we can even be better at observe. But what I think, when we both have studied Buddhism, and we know when it comes to realizations, if I want to try to describe that, it's like you observe something and you get a feeling, right? Good feeling. And some people have asked me, like, but what do you mean with realization? But for me, it's like your whole body's awakening and aligned to a new feeling that was never there before.
Okay. Can we unpack this a little bit?
Yeah, we can try.
Because when you say observation or realization, people can't see you, but it's a different gesture, different eyes. It's like your whole body reacts to the word realization, letter by letter. And does it happen if I have to bring it to the body? Because this is something that I usually try to do. When I try to understand something that is new to me, I try to bring it to my body and try to see how it feels.
Yeah.
Observation looks like it is more in the mind.
Yeah.
Right?
I agree.
And realization is more where?
Realization, for me at least, it's something that is kind of like, it's like, you know me, I'm all into this Tantra thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And I always use the feeling of falling in love. I always use that term.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm like, okay, I can't use that again to make my point, but it is the best example. When you fall in love, you don't observe a person and then you feel like, oh, that person is nice, and that is an observation.
Yeah. I can look at the picture and say,
oh, she's beautiful, or he's nice, or good looking, or she has beautiful eyes, the way she dresses. That's an observation, and it can still give you a good feeling. But when you have a realization, it's like when you meet someone.
Yeah.
If let's call it love for first sight or something.
Yeah.
It can also grow, but you meet someone and then it's like hits you in the stomach, and it's like, wow, this is the person I just been longing for, or you just get a feeling of, I just get connected, and then it fills you with this feeling.
Isn't that the boundaries between what you are observing and you like dissolve? Because when you explain this love at first sight, it happened when I met my husband. We met in a work dinner. Yeah. And he came late because he was like hiking in the mountains. So he arrived and the room stopped.
Yeah. And you saw him.
And I saw him and I was like trying, everyone around the room disappeared, and I was trying to go across to shake his hand. Yeah. And we were looking in the eyes, and there was some sort of strange connection because my boss didn't speak English, so he needed me as a translator. Yeah. And I was like the worst translator ever in that night because he was next to me and my future husband to be. Yeah. He was across the table, and we were like talking to each other, and I was ignoring everything that was happening around it. So I believe that realization comes more from like a full body experience.
Yeah. When you saw him, what did you think? It's like...
No, I wasn't thinking anything.
Because you feel it, and it's like something is taking over your body.
Yeah, it's like a Bioshock. I was like,
exactly.
struck.
And at the same time, you kind of had this feeling like this is it. You don't have to define it like, oh, this is going to be my husband or this is going to be something.
I didn't know what was happening.
But you just know that, wow, this is how it feels when you meet someone that are 100% just in line with something in you. You don't have to define what it is, but you just know. And that is what I call a realization, because, wow, it's people in this world that are connecting me or we are connected in some way. And you don't know what it is, so you don't have to define what will happen in the future. But the feeling you have there at that moment is just possessing your body, and you just know, wow, this is something.
What I'm thinking now is, okay, these things happen without you having to provoke them, because you weren't looking for that when you were in
At the surfboard,
and I wasn't looking to find a husband 14,000 kilometers away from my home. Because him is the reason that I moved to Norway. When you think about that, it looks like it's something that you can't provoke, right? It's something that you find but you can't provoke.
Good question. I don't know if it's a question or just a...
It's an open thought.
Yeah,
Maybe we can...
open thought. I think you can provoke it. Like, in this moment, I'm going to feel this. But you can facilitate yourself, and you can prepare yourself to have more of these experiences.
Yeah, this is a kind of tricky question, because I was leading you to what I think led me to have more experiences like that.
Yes.
Because some people think that to feel these kind of things, you need to be very lucky, right? That is connected with luck. But I discovered through time that you can somehow open your heart to be more prone to live this kind of experiences.
100%.
And not to be daydreaming, because it's not that we are not down to earth.
I think
people.
Daydreaming goes under the category of observing again.
Imagining.
Yeah.
That is not the same as feeling and connecting.
Yeah. But daydreaming is also super important. But that is another thing.
Yeah. For another talk.